Hi guys, here's the video as promised so you can check your answers from our work today. We're multiplying fractions, and 4/7 times 3/8, those are proper fractions, so they are ready to multiply. You don't have to change anything. You multiply your numerators straight across. 4 times 3 is 12, 7 times 8 is 56, but that's not simplified. So you can see here on the top I'm simplifying the fraction, dividing both by 2, but it could still be simplified further, so I divided by 2 again. Got it down to 3/14. This method here is just simplifying ahead of time. I noticed that the 4 and the 8 both had a factor of 4 that could be divided out. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. And then I multiply straight across like I did in this one up here. 1 times 3 is 3, and 7 times 2 is 14, and I ended up with the same answer. So you can simplify after, like in this example, or you can simplify ahead of time if you notice common factors between the numerators or the denominators. Number 2, we had a word problem. She ate 1/3 of a pie. Her sister had 1/5 of what she ate. Anytime you're looking for a part of another piece like this, so we're looking for 1/5 of 1/3, that's multiplication. And so we set 1/5 of 1/3 up just like multiplication. We treat that word of like we're multiplying. 1 times 1 is 1, 5 times 3 is 15. Nothing to simplify ahead of time there, and you can't simplify that answer. So number 3, another word problem. 5/6 of a cup of sugar, and she's making 1/2 of a recipe. You know, if she was making 5 recipes, you'd just multiply the cups of sugar times 5. And if she was making, 3 recipes, you'd multiply it times 3. So it only makes sense that we would just be multiplying it by 1/2, because that's how many recipes that she's making. So again, nothing to simplify ahead of time. Multiply the numerator straight across and multiply the denominator straight across. And 5/12 is already in simplest form. Number 4 has a mixed number where you have a whole number in front of the fraction. We cannot multiply like that. You've got to change it. So in class today, we worked on how to convert a mixed number. So the way that we do that is take the denominator of 9 and multiply it by the numerator. So 9 times 1 is 9. And then we add that answer to the numerator. 9 plus 8 is 17. So that's where we get the 17 from. And we keep the same denominator. It was 9 here, so it's still 9. We've converted it to a improper fraction now. So now we can multiply it by 6/11. We don't have that whole number anymore to deal with. We got rid of it. So now we can multiply. 17 times 6 is 102. 9 times 11 is 99. You can see I had to come figure that out over on the side of my paper, so you can do that too if you need to. So I don't want to leave my answer like this because it's an improper fraction. So I'm going to convert it back into a mixed number by using that popcorn method that you guys all learned in 5th grade. We just divide it. 99 goes in there once. There's 3 left over. And so the 1 is our whole number, 1 and 3/99. Okay. But that 3/99 is going to cause us a problem because it's not simplified either. If we were to simplify ahead of time, if I go back to this 17/9 times 6/11, if you were to notice that 6 and 9 had a common factor of 3, you could have divided 6 by 3 to make it 2 and 9 by 3 to make it 3. This makes it a little bit easier. 17 times 6 is 34, and 3 times 11 is 33. So that division gives us 1 and 1/33, because this goes into 34 once, and there's 1 left over. So 1 and 1/33. So these two things are equal because the 3 and the 99 share a common factor. You could divide 3 by 3 to get 1 and 99 by 3 to get 33. So I'm kind of pan out here so you can see all of my work on that question. So it's a little bit shorter, maybe doing it this way versus this way, but if you were to get to this answer, you could just simplify that to get to here like I did there. Again, this popcorn method, this is from 5th grade. Students learned how to convert improper fractions like these two right here into mixed numbers like you see here and here. That was a 5th grade skill. And even converting this one, getting it ready to multiply as 17/9. That is a 5th grade skill. So that should be review. The only thing new this year is multiplying the actual fractions together, but those conversions are from 5th grade. All right, that was number 4. Let's take a look at number 5. We've just got 2 mixed numbers we're multiplying together. You cannot multiply them like that. You got to convert them. So here we are, number 5. I've converted those, the denominator times the whole number, and then that answer plus the numerator. So 2 2/3 is the same as 8/3. 1 4/5 is the same as 9/5. Sorry, 8/3 times 9/5. Hope I said that right. And I multiply straight across 72, straight across 15, 72 over 15. Don't want to leave it as a improper fraction, so I'm going to divide it there. I get 4 12/15. That 12 and 15 have a factor in common though, so it could be simplified even further. If you simplified ahead of time, go back to 8/3 times 9/5. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So if I simplify that ahead of time, 8 times 3 is 24. 1 times 5 is 5. And now when I use that popcorn method to get it back, because again, it's an improper fraction, we don't want to leave it like that. It goes in there 4 times with 4 left over. So 4 4/5. And again, you could divide 12 and 15 both by 3. And so you can see that 12 divided by 3 would be where that 4 comes from, and 15 divided by 3 is where that 5 comes from. So this one right up here is almost simplified, but you can take that 12/15 portion a little further to get to 4 4/5. All right, number 6 is a word problem, and it's talking about a rectangular path and area. Area of a rectangle comes from length times width. They've given you 3/5 and 4/9 as your length and your width, so we multiply them together. This one I multiplied straight across, and I simplified after I got my answer. This one I simplified before I multiplied, because 3 and 9 had a common factor of 3 that could be divided out, and that got me straight to 4/15. So again, either way is fine. You can simplify after, or you can simplify before. I'll leave that up to you. We talked about that today, and that's in our notes. So students were told, whatever works best for them, they can simplify before or after. Number 7, an article fills half of a magazine page. Another photo takes up 3/8 of that article. How much of the page is taken up by the photo? You're looking for 3/8 of 1/2. 3/8 of 1/2. There's that letter or the word of again, and that's like multiplying. So we're looking for 1/2 times 3/8, or 3/8 times 1/2, same thing. And nothing to simplify there. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 8 is 16. Even 3/16 is already in simplest form. So we're good to go there. Number 8, 2 mixed numbers. Can't multiply them like that. So you see up here where I've converted them into improper fractions. 3 2/3 is the same as 11/3. 2 3/4 is the same as 11/4. When I multiply straight across, I get 121 over 12. Don't want to leave it like that because that's an improper fraction. So we're going to divide. You can see all my lovely white out here because I got in a hurry. But 12 goes into 121 10 times with 1 left over. So 10 and 1/12 when I use that, what many students call the popcorn method, to get from that 10 to the remainder to that 12th leftover piece right there. So 10 1/2. And then number 9, last one, number 9, those fractions are ready to multiply. We don't have to convert anything. Again, you can do this a couple of ways. The way you see on top here is I just multiply straight across, 28 on the top, 70 on the bottom. And I notice they have a common factor. They can both be divided by 7. 4/10, both of those can be divided by 2. And then finally simplified. So this one I multiplied first and simplified after. This one I simplified ahead of time. I noticed that 7 and 7 have something in common. They can both be divided by 7. That's where the 1 and the 1 comes from. And then 4 and 10 share a common factor of 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2, straight across. 5 times 1 is 5 straight across. So you can see how they share the same answer. So go back and take a look at this video and where I've worked things out, and pause the video as needed to help you see how I got these answers. Again, this is a combination of a 5th grade skill of converting improper fractions to mixed numbers so that we can multiply, and then also taking our answers sometimes and don't leave them as don't leave them as improper fractions. We change them back into a mixed number by using division with a remainder. All of this stuff was covered in class. In our notes today, we spent some time for a while reminding students how to change these over so that we can multiply them properly, how to convert them back when needed. And then we've done a couple of simple examples together. And then we worked into some more harder examples where we simplified after, where we simplified before. We worked on some examples together, a couple of word problems, a couple that were not. And all of those notes students have inside of their journals and are allowed to use on this assignment tonight. So this was designed for students to be able to check their answers tonight and see how they did. And hopefully they can take care of that, and we'll take a look at it in the morning. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.